Hey guys, David Pingree out here today, getting our turn to introduce you to the 2020 KTM 250SXF. And not a ton of changes this year, but they definitely had some things they wanted to fix based on feedback from last year, and they've addressed it. And I think most people are going to be really stoked with these changes. The big news in this year is comes in the way of the suspension. The WP Exact suspension system. They did a few things. A lot of the complaints they were getting, and you may have experienced this if you've used the air fork in the past, is getting that initial, what they call breaking through the crust. So it always has like a little bit of resistance initially. Once you're down into the stroke, it actually works okay. It's just that the first little movement of the fork, there's been complaints that that's kind of harsh. I've been one of the people complaining about that. So they made a change to the piston and the shim stack, and they reshaped the first shim so it bends a little bit easier to try to help with that. Give it a little bit softer initial, or that breakthrough, or breaking through the crust they call it. So on the track you definitely feel that. We had to make a few adjustments just for balance purposes, because you're trying to find a happy medium between balance and getting it to work the way you want it. And we did that. We're going to keep working on that throughout the day. We'll have a separate dialed in video that you can watch to get you some settings, but just know it's a better feeling than last year. Definitely a little bit more plush initially, which is it needed. As far as the shock, again, changes to match. A lot of the updates that the factory edition bikes got last year came to this. Obviously it has its own valving for 250, but yeah, the back works great. Kind of same action it had last year, or on the factory edition if you had one of those. The other change, big change, is to the left side airbox. They've got now a box that's vented, it has fins in it. The last several years they've been just drilling holes in them. The race team, anyone that's competitive, was doing that to increase airflow, and noticing that it helped with the middle to top power. The thing just lets it scream when it gets more air. So they've gone ahead and done that stock now, and it comes with a flat one that doesn't have venting, and the one with venting. So if you're racing at sand or races in mud or a lot of water, you can throw the solid one on and not be worried you're going to suck dirt or water. So that's a really cool feature from these guys. Again, sort of up in the game a little bit. And then the last thing is graphics, and that's a big deal, right? Everybody's got to have a cool looking bike. The new KTM looks great. Everything's built in so it doesn't rub off like a sticker, which is awesome. But that's really the big changes for 2020. And you have to go back to 2019 when this thing really got updates. All the frame was changed. There was the exhaust portion of the motor was changed with a whole new exhaust system to really bolster power, and that provided big results. So this is sort of taking that 2019 model, which was really good, and just sort of polishing it up a little bit. And so far, really enjoying it on the track today. It's crazy how much horsepower this makes middle to top. The bottom, I would say, is competitive with any other 250, but the middle to top, it's crazy. It's not even close. There's not another 250 that revs like this thing does. So we'll have some tips and some suggestions in the dialed in video for that. But just know, for me out here at Glen Hill, and especially with the big hills, you come out of a turn in second, grab third, and man, it just screams. It makes a lot of horsepower. So the engine is definitely the strong point on this thing. And again, it's got the Brembo brakes, the Galfer rotors, so really good quality components, ODI lock-on grips and all that. So KTM really paid attention to the finish of this bike, and it shows when you ride it. So had a lot of fun out here today. Thank you to KTM for giving us their introduction. We're going to continue to ride this thing, get some good settings on it, and get back to you with a dialed in video. So if you pick one of these up, you'll have a good place to start with settings, all right? Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.